Welcome back to Brewing with Bros. Today we have a very special guest,
Hi.
Josh Goodman, and we have our host, of course, my brother.
Bharat from Two Bros.
And as you know, this is Rick.
No, people don't know. You have to tell them.
Okay, since it's new, I'll tell you my name.
It's
My
a
name is
brand new
Rick.
podcast, so you
Yeah.
have to tell each and everything about yourself.
My name is Rick, by the way. So
My name is Joshua Goodman. I'm 6'2", 155 pounds.
if you're looking
Probably
for
after all of this stuff, you get like a lot of calls. Hey Josh, are you
Yeah.
single or what?
yeah, so if you're in the market looking for a
No,
successful man who's tall, has money, and then you
young.
might
And
be the one.
6'2",
6'2", right?
a big yard and a bulldog.
Oh yes, in 10 years.
In 10 years,
In
right?
10 years, yeah.
Yeah, have you heard that like girls singing like a 6'2" man had a big backyard and a bulldog and a Mercedes
No,
and all that?
is it a song?
It's not a
Sounds
song,
like a
but they
ghetto
were-
song to me.
They
Yeah.
were like just talking to their friends, and
Oh.
somebody made a song out of it. Like,
Yeah.
I want a man of love.
I mean, I
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that.
you
I
know?
believe that. I try to live up to those expectations every day.
Often a woman and all that stuff.
I guess you're recently heartbroken, so that's why you're leaving
that
all
true?
that expectation on
I
side.
mean, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
So what
I mean,
happened? What happened?
So like, I had a heart, and then real estate just clobbered it. Yeah,
That's a problem of every investor, because like, if anybody comes and start like playing with your heart, like you think, okay, I think this person is wrong for me. I have to go
But-
back to my first love, which is
Real
It's
estate.
my
investing,
first love, yeah.
And
But do you
then-
regret it? Like
No.
letting her go?
No, I mean,
Not at all, I think.
it's come bubbled up, and what here and there, but like totally the best decision,
Yeah.
like totally for the best. In 20 years, I'll be so happy. I'll be so
Yeah.
Right,
thankful,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, I'm so thankful now, right?
Right.
But
I mean, considering our age, like I don't think this is the right time to get into all that stuff.
Mingles
I mean,
and shingles.
I mean,
Shingles, yes, because
Shingles,
you
yes,
need
not
those shingles,
mingles.
but mingling and all that stuff.
shingles.
Shingles are roof, by the way.
Roof shingles.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, what is that? What is that? I've never heard like this real estate lingo for relationships.
roof. That's
Shingles.
roof. The roof shingles.
Okay. Yeah. This is the, yeah. I'm
Those are the
shingle.
ones we should be
I'm
talking
shingle.
about. Yeah.
Yeah. No, real estate is. I mean, so because like we're young guys, right? I'm 25, 26 in like 3 weeks, and I know
Yeah.
one of you had a birthday in the last quarter, couple
yeah.
months.
It was him
That
actually.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
December. Yeah.
We're about
By the
like.
way, happy early birthday. So.
Thank you. I'm old. I'm 26,
Oh,
right?
That's not old.
Well,
I mean,
if that's old, then he's
okay.
probably
Well,
like a
60,
grandpa.
70 is really when you started to get old. But like, for a 20-year-old, I'm an old 20-year-old. You know.
I would say you're experienced 20-year-old.
Yeah.
No, we are in late 20s, so for like late 20s and beginning of 20s, like it's a whole different story.
Yeah.
You
Right.
get so much knowledge, wisdom, and like a different way of seeing this world that you change yourself. You're getting into 30s.
A lot of things change
a lot
very
of things
quickly.
changing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like-
then you start to realize like it's time to get serious about your life.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you cannot just be like fooling around like other people are.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there like they just don't care.
Yeah, bars every weekend.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, right now for me, it's like wife and kids is on the the horizon, right?
Horizon.
Like
Right.
like 10 years from now. Like, I mean, 10 years ago, I was playing video games and making YouTube videos, and that's 10 years ago. 10 years from now, it's like my kids are
whole
gonna be
new
making
Kids are
YouTube
gonna be making
videos.
videos. Like, Dad, let me get you on the podcast.
So, but it's really, I mean, it's all comes back to real estate, right?
Right.
Like, kind of, investing is about, delaying gratification, right? You're not going to get I mean, every strategy is different, but for the most part, we're in it for the long run, right?
Yeah, we're in for the
Right?
long run. Yeah.
Right. And so it's really, and being an investor is not just like, it's what I do for make money. In my mind, it's like a culture. It's like, it's a way of being. It's a philosophy and how you make decisions in your everyday life, right? Just you're trying to get the most of your time, your resources. And on that note, being a young guy, having a girlfriend doesn't make sense, and I rather just do real estate.
Exactly.
So you swiped left on her.
I went back and swiped left.
You went back.
Yeah, I hit the rewind button a couple times and then.
So a little backstory. You met her.
No, hold on. Now you
Yes.
had your fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
we'll go
start.
back
this,
at
this
it
is not the
towards the
dating
end.
podcast.
Yeah. we are not doing any dating or
I mean,
anything.
we want to keep it a little fun too at the same time.
I'll tell you
of course.
afterwards.
Yeah, but we'll come back at it and then tell you a little backstory.
No, once we get into all the properties and all that real
Yeah.
estate, and then we a little bit come back and ask about the
Right.
girlfriend. and then
Because it's
ask,
relevant
like,
to the one story with the Singapore, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly,
yeah, it's relevant.
Yeah,
so.
but that was a great story. Singapore, Thailand.
Yes.
And
Korea.
I mean, it comes all back to real estate, right?
Yeah.
And I think.
I mean,
yeah.
it is real estate is a tree. I think you like put a seed into it, and then waited couple
only
more
gonna keep
years,
growing, yeah.
and then it's started giving you like fruits.
Yeah, then your payback penalties don't exist anymore. Your prepayment penalties are gone. And, now you have options.
Now you have options. Not you, her.
Yeah.
All right, Josh. So tell us about yourself.
Yeah.
Who are you?
So, okay. So we already know my height and my weight and my age.
We don't know your weight though.
I said 155
Oh, 155.
pounds. Yes,
155.
I'm
That's too low.
I know.
So in case that's your criteria.
I spend too much. I don't go to the gym, bro. I go to the internet and research real estate. That's my hobby.
That's your hobby.
I go to the gym too.
That's your workout.
But so I am a full-time real estate investor in Chicago, just like you guys. I buy rentals. I flip houses. I wholesale. I'm starting to get into lending as well. Is actually something we didn't touch on. Yeah, I actually have some interesting things with lending going on. Working on that. But just all in all, just 100% committed, married to real estate, and just do that every day.
Yeah,
and
that's really nice. Like, I mean, at this particular age, I mean, it's hard to be like on a good track, And
it's getting difficult. The rungs on the socioeconomic ladder are widening, and so being able to lift your foot up to the very first rung, it's getting higher and higher.
Right.
So but once you have your foot on the ladder, which we do,
it's only going up.
There's upward mobility.
True.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's so. I went to college. I actually started getting involved in how I first got introduced to real estate was the RIA.
Oh, the meetings and all that.
Yeah,
that happens like locally.
Yeah, Andrew.
He has one special RIA meeting actually.
Right, Chicago RIA.
Chicago RIA.
Yeah, so Chicago
where
RIA.
It all began.
Yeah. I went to the Andrew Holmes was hosting I think he still does it. I think he does it at his own building now, but like he was doing seminars out of different various hotels, and this one was downtown Chicago.
Oh, downtown actually?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Like right off of like State Street and Roosevelt, not too far from State.
Like those
Roosevelt.
fancy buildings.
Yeah. There's a whole
Just keep going in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring you an Indian coffee.
Oh, thank you so much. So I was just sitting in on one of those, went with my dad, and then we went to the 3-day. My dad was already kind of in Andrew's,
part of it.
Yeah, he had been involved. He hadn't had his first property yet, I don't think. I just got interested. I was still in college though.
Right.
That looks amazing.
It's hot, by the way. So
yeah, it looks really hot. Let's not burn myself on the camera.
Yeah, right. It'll be another fun podcast.
And then, I actually got started, really started with a lawn care business.
Oh, that's how you get started.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
What made you get into the lawn care part of it? Like,
yeah.
Did you like had experience doing it, or?
Yeah. So let me preface the lawn care story with that was everything. That made my success. As small as small ticket item, $25 a lawn, 21 years old. I never thought it would come.
How many houses were you doing at that time?
I think I had maybe like 40 to 60 every single week.
40 to 60 houses a week?
Yeah,
Just for lawn care?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this was during.
And how much you were charging for one house?
I was undercharging heavy. I was doing like 25 a house.
Oh wow! Just
dirt cheap
across the board.
That is cheap because I have like couple of housing like
you
Airbnbs.
Like $50.
And I'm paying like $55-$60 just for
4 or 5 years ago. 25 to 35 was market.
I think it's just the gas prices that cost,
and then right around like 2021, 2022, it started going up to like 35 to 45, and now we're at 50 for the lawn. Yeah, that makes sense. It's the gas.
It's way too much now. I mean,
and then like
it bothers.
The cost of metal and stuff like that to repair like blades and just machinery and stuff like that's also gone up. But doing that, so I was I joined Andrew's group. I started getting involved, and I built my book of business off of the investors in the group. And so
were they your clients at that time?
Yeah,
most of them.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Yeah, no, the business grew very quickly. I actually ended up hiring 2 of my buddies from college.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it was.
But initially, you were doing it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, it just business owner advice 101, it helps to have done the job before you hire somebody
you
to
have
do
somebody,
it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. You
You
gotta know
know?
the basics.
We did the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
You know,
exactly.
Like when we started our Airbnb and all that stuff.
Man, he had me clean actually.
You were cleaning.
I
you
was
were
I was
getting in there.
cleaning. I was doing the laundry and then fold the sheets, make the beds, and I was like, "Where's my payment? Like, what payment? Like, you're part of the business.
Yeah,
I guess,
like,
sure.
your payment is saving the money.
Saving the
Saving the
money,
money,
right? Yeah,
right.
like okay,
Yes.
sure, if it makes sense,
Yeah.
Alright, back to the Josh now.
right?
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's exactly right. So we, that's just kind of how I got started, and that basically supported me through college. I was going to school about 4 hours. I had transferred, so I was spent like 2.5 years at one university and 2.5 years at the other.
Oh, was it like a community college?
Purdue Northwest, so it's a satellite campus of Main Purdue.
Oh, the main campus. Okay.
Apparently the same curriculum, same degree, but I will argue that. I did math and computer science there, damn near graduated, and then was like, let's try something else. And then I went to the Kelly School in Indiana, started studying finance and real estate, and that education is actually the single most competitive advantage I have today as an investor.
As an investor, yeah.
That is literally what gives me my edge.
I
is
mean,
at school.
it's good to have education and all that,
Mm-hmm.
but because it amplifies your like a speed or the career like you're going,
Opens your mind.
Opens your mind up a
yeah.
lot. I mean,
Yeah.
especially being
You
in
start
finance. You know.
seeing things differently.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I'm sure,
Yeah. So my biggest, because like I'm the only kid in my family to go to college, and
Same year.
you went to college?
I'm still in college, but
You're in
it's
college?
like-
Oh, I didn't know.
It's been like 4 years. I haven't graduated yet. So.
I went
Oh.
for like
One
three-
semester.
3 credit hours or 1 semester actually.
One semester, one class.
3
And then-
credit hours.
And then the college says you have no place to be here. I said why? They said you can start educating people. Why are you a student here?
Yeah.
He walked
I'm
into
just
college
joking.
looking. Like,
Yeah,
are you a
yeah.
professor or like?
Yeah.
"No, I'm a
I
student."
mean, you probably make more money than the professor. Like imagine like little Jacob. He makes more money than he's in elementary school and he makes
Right.
more money than his teachers.
You're like,
Right.
I can
Like,
make
how
that
do you
in 3
how do you
months.
tell him to do anything? He's like he makes more money than you're like
Don't
how
tell
do you
me.
tell him what to do?
I was talking to him. He's like, you know what? I have a couple of my classmates looking up stuff for him on Zillow.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you're 13 years old. He's like, yeah, they do it for me now. Okay.
Yeah. I feel it should be said for the audience who may not know who we're talking about. There's a young boy we know who's about 13 years old who is just exceptional, and he's doing what we're doing, but
Yeah.
he's got about 12 years on us, so we're very
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
We're
He's
very
like much faster, Like we are like
I mean, by the time he's-
26 and he's just 13, and
By the time he's
probably
our
he has
age,
more knowledge
Way
as
more, way
compared
more.
to us.
by the time he's our age, like dude, where will he be?
I just think he's gonna be like, I'm done with my
Why?
financial
Like,
stuff.
he's
I'm
gonna
done,
like
and I'm
billionaire by 35,
Yeah.
like
Right.
like
something like
at
that, yeah.
trajectory, like that's crazy. So God bless.
Yeah.
Really, and it really illustrates just the power of real estate
Oh, yeah.
and like the opportunities that lie before us, in the Chicago market, especially, right?
I mean, I think
Yeah.
huge shout out to his parents, like for letting him do all that stuff at 13 and not putting him in like, public school. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He's in public school now.
he's in, but again, letting the kid explore this part of the world and not just the school, which is a lot. It's a big step,
I mean, I hope my kids. are
You
like
hope
that.
your kids
You
do
hope-
the same
you hope
thing.
your
Don't we
kids-
all?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
Do
think
we
they
all?
need to go to school as long as they learn one simple thing:
Mm-hmm.
buy rentals,
Mhm.
buy rentals,
Yeah.
buy rentals.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so I think real estate is especially what we're doing is a fantastic foundation to like seed one's wealth. I think it gets to a certain point where you can, at least this is for me, and like given I went to college, my mind's been open, right?
Okay.
I see a lot of opportunities, right? And a lot of them is just necessarily breaking the glass ceiling that is money, right? You can have all the pieces to everything, but if you don't have the money to execute, like
Right.
There's nothing you can.
No, I
move
mean
forward.
if you work hard also, like, and plus you want some kind of like something so bad that you have to make it go through,
Make it happen, yeah.
make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
So if money is a situation or anything could be a problem in between your goal and your current situation,
Mm-hmm.
if you think like you have to do that stuff like to
Mm-hmm.
make your future better, I think you will find a way to do all that stuff.
It's like how
Yeah.
much you want it to happen, how much you want. It's
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
you know.
I think it really comes down to a function of like being able to concentrate. first being able to figure out what exactly it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
I think especially in today's world with a bazillion distractions, it kind of really speaks to this.
Especially in our age, actually.
Yeah, it speaks to the adage of like in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Right. So if you can just literally have one eye and just even just concentrate even just marginally better than the
other people,
like the bulk of the normal distribution, like
you'll do better.
Like you have a competitive advantage, right? Like you will have access to you have the capacity to access opportunities that other people won't just by having that quality, right?
Right.
So for that reason, I think that success is really more of a person, like a cocktail of a personality.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, at least in the U.S., right? We have access to so many resources that
way too many. I mean, they call it the land of opportunity. So
is what?
It's called the land of opportunities for a reason, So,
yeah. And I mean, I think what is, if not, is the best example of the land of opportunity, literally speaking to land,
right?
Real estate
brings you back.
It
brings you back to Brewing with Two Bros. Have your coffee now.
Yes. I've been meaning to touch this.
Yeah.
I got a gymnastic around the thing here. This is coffee.
Yeah. How it is.
Nice. So this is not your traditional coffee. It's like
something's different.
Yeah, it comes from South India actually.
Oh.
It's a place in South India called Madras. And it's based out of there, and then it's made with milk only. There's no water in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you brew it?
It's like a powder. It's like a latte actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's no special shots or anything. You just like it's instant mix.
Okay.
So you just pour the hot milk in the powder, and then just stir it up.
You see the flavors? I mean, not.
I can feel it.
You taste it?
Yeah, no, this definitely tastes out of the ordinary from my daily Starbucks coffee.
Right,
exactly.
Starbucks does not offer this.
Yeah,
definitely not.
There's not an India. They have matcha, but they don't have this. They don't have
Two Bros offer.
Do you think they should offer it? Do you think they should offer it?
I mean, I do, but I'm also like
good. If you said no, that would have meant it's not a good coffee.
but I was gonna say that like I have I know myself to be someone who is comfortable with eccentric tastes.
Yeah.
And liking things that other people don't necessarily, or like being, not necessarily fitting in.
Yeah.
I think it's what leads me to where I am today. Somewhat of a contrarian. Like out of school, everybody went and worked in corporate America, investment banking, private equity, all that stuff, these prestigious titles and stuff like that. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna be a taxi driver.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do Uber for a living.
Yeah, I was doing it in school and I was supporting myself. paid my rent and stuff like that. And some of my I still have some student debt, but like it helped me carry myself through it. It was fun.
I mean, creative minds don't have any limitations or anything like that. They can do anything at any time.
It's not so much about the title; it's about who you are as the person, right? So like, I guess I was the most overqualified taxi driver on the road, at least in Chicago.
No, in probably
I have a
US.
degree in finance. I have 3 rental properties and I sold Uber.
Yeah. So I actually stopped doing that about a year ago. In about a month. Yeah, I drove my Prius to the point where the engine just basically just like it was.
He said no more driving.
Leave me alone, Josh.
Like it's no more. So now I just run the real estate. Asset.
Right,
really
talking
hard.
about real estate.
But did you like driving for $1 while you were doing Uber or no?
Driving for $1.
Yeah, like you see a house, take down
Like
a
the
address, and
yes.
then,
I had a notebook in my pocket that whenever I saw like a neighborhood that I didn't know before that interested me, I wrote down the intersection.
Yeah, okay.
And stuff like that, and then also picking up people in those neighborhoods.
Yeah,
I just kind of got a taste for
how people are in.
Yeah, it's just to kind of feel out the area.
Sure.
See if I feel comfortable doing business there.
So tell us about your first property.
Yes, so
that's always the best experience.
Yes, everyone has their first, right? Yeah. And this is your first deal shouldn't be your best, and this wasn't the best. So this came to me as a wholesale. So I didn't find it on the MLS, right? I find most of my deals today on the MLS. I don't know about you.
We do pretty much solely MLS now.
Yeah, and I found this off market from somebody I met through the Chicago investor scene. And I was going to walk away from it. I wasn't going to do it. My dad told me I should just put an offer in. And I'm glad I did.
Glad you did.
Yeah. So I got it. And then the person who I was dealing with, who wholesaled it to me, was also starting a general contracting business. And so I was actually able to negotiate into the deal do the general contracting.
Right. So they found you the property and then they did the GC work as well.
Yeah, and what I negotiated is basically a surety bond where they guaranteed the rehab cost. If it went over, they'd pay over it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because I hired them as a GC. They wanted the business. They were just getting their business off the ground, and they wanted to.
So they were newbies as well.
Yeah. So I'll say this, that I've since learned enough about construction that I'm excited to ever look inside the house and actually inspect the quality of the work. As I probably, it was their first construction project, right?
Right.
So
that's actually very interesting. I've never heard like,
anybody do that.
Anybody talk to someone who does it. Like
a surety bond.
A surety
Yeah.
bond.
Well, it wasn't like informal, but it was basically, if you want to describe the performance of it, it was a surety bond. He guaranteed that it would be on that budget.
And was it in the budgets?
Yeah. Yeah,
Really?
I had the no money in the deal. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was on the margin a burr.
Yeah.
And then he also hooked me up with a rent to own, which I will never do again.
Yeah.
And
you did the rent to own stuff on the first one.
yes, it's that deal. Yeah.
That got very creative. For the first
yeah,
one.
yeah. I was really out there for the first one. Like,
Yeah.
I guess
It still doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know why I would do that.
No, but
I mean-
it works out sometimes. Like, it depends how you see the deal. Like.
Right.
Well, for me, it was like, shit. They're offering me $7,000 and I don't got to jump. And like, I had to bust my butt for like 2 months in Uber to get that retainer.
So it was more of a
Exactly.
capital thing for you.
Yeah, I
you
was
were
like,
getting a
it's like,
capital
wow,
upfront.
you
No,
flashed
but
money
like
in front of my
I'm
face.
sure I'm sure like that rental, like it will be for a long time. I'm sure that contract will cancel eventually.
Yeah,
because
it's like a 3 to is actually so deeper pockets or bigger pockets.
yeah,
Interviewed a guy who specializes in rent lease optioning.
yeah.
In Chicago in our market, and
Yeah.
he said it's like a 3 to 5% chance that they actually exercise
Will
it.
buy it. Yeah.
That low?
Yeah, so I was betting on it not happening.
Oh, wow.
No,
So-
because I also was reading a lot of things on how, like, because I was thinking, like, let's do it. It's a great business. You buy the place, you fix it up, you put it on rental, refi, you get your money out, right? And you don't pay any pre-penalty, like, because they are buying at a 4th or 5th year.
Yes.
Or at a 3rd year.
Yeah.
So you're like, that thing is done with the bank.
Yeah.
Right? And plus they're paying you a down payment, 10, 15, 7, 8, whatever
In
they
the
want
first
to pay.
year.
At a 10,000,
Yeah, it's lump
10%
sum,
down.
non-refundable. It's down payment.
And that's a
Right.
non-refundable payment.
You
So
should
you're
open that
making-
business, actually. You should be
That-
start doing that business.
That's the best part, to be honest with you.
Only rent to own. and make sure you fall
plus-
behind on payments.
And plus they're paying you
Wow.
money on time. They're fixing up your place as they're gonna live it for
Yes,
in the house
they're
for, a
responsible
long
for
time.
maintenance, and they have the ownership integrity.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the true value. It's-
So
yeah.
according to me, that's the best way to
They
go.
keep upgrading your place. Well, you know what? Let me paint
Yeah.
it better now. Let
Well,
me
you're,
get,
yeah.
you're basically like a bank, and you're just like instead of underwriting your risk with foreclosures, you're underwriting your risk with vacancies on a turnover.
Right.
But they can also just decide to renew it and do another. Like, okay, let's do another lease option.
Lease option, right?
another down payment.
Yeah, but maybe I want more this
Maybe
time.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I mean, of course, this tenant in particular, because like for me, when I was first getting into this transaction with her, it was in my mind it was like, well, I don't want to take advantage of the woman. I feel like that can be perceived because the American dream of owning
It
a
might
home.
come back at
Of
you.
course.
also.
of course.
I just don't want, so I was I did put care.
I mean,
into
you
it.
can try your best by doing all that, whatever it is in
Yeah.
contract, but like if they're not working on themselves by fixing their credit and then
Yeah.
getting the
Financial
income,
situation, yeah.
like whatever it is, but it's not your fault, at that
Right.
point.
Well, I just wanted, at least in my mind, to minimize any doubt that
Yeah.
I was acting in a it's a moral
fair manner.
and ethical way, right?
Right.
Because like I understand, so like she actually fell behind on some of her payments, which technically voids the lease option. But if she comes to me and she qualifies, I'll do it.
Yeah,
You'll do it.
of course.
Yeah, I want to help her out. Whenever
Right.
I address her, I'm like, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
Yeah.
You
I
I
don't
don't
want
wanna-
somebody like go
yeah.
through it,
Yeah, I want this to be good for both of us.
For sure.
Yeah, and plus she'll remember you for a very long time. That I
Yeah.
had a landlord who helped me out of.
Her son wants to be a plumber.
Exact. Oh,
You have a plumber right there, man.
Yeah, there you go. Her son wants to be a plumber. So
Like,
20
you
years from now.
20 years from now,
you're putting that seed
Exactly.
right now, so you'll be making money over.
Yeah, if he wants to start his plumbing business, give me a call.
Give me a
Yeah,
call.
exactly.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
start your business. Just get hired.
Yeah, well, I mean, sure. At that point, I'll probably be able to put him on salary and just
Yeah.
skip the general contracting angle.
You were talking about you already have some people on salary.
Yeah. Okay. It's by no means like anything like like a big deal, right?
But so, I mean, still, it's a huge step, you know.
Yeah. So I think so. Like, went from basically broke to broke college kid to former broke college kid who drives a taxi. You know, money was like a scare, right? It was like I was always scared about money, right?
Yeah.
I'm now I have both financially and psychologically on the other end of that now, and I kind of have come from more of a place of prosperity and wealth.
Yeah.
To where it's like now I take a step back and I look like my general contractor or my father who is really helps me out with a lot of the operational stuff. I'm like, I would be nothing without these guys.
Exactly.
Right? Like the self-made, being self-made. I can see the angle, but like it takes a village to raise a person.
Yeah.
And
it's never a one-man show, I think.
and if you think it is, then I challenge you to inspect that situation and see that there's probably other people behind.
Yeah.
We're social animals. Human beings, we're social animals before anything else. We need people, right?
We need people to interact and all, yeah.
So the seeing, some of the BS and stuff like that that they tolerate on my behalf, I'm like guys, I appreciate you so much. Like you do so much for me.
So much for me. Yeah.
This is, I mean, I already pay you for for your actual services, but I want you to, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Just
like
even like verbally, if you say it, it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, and it's just like the general contractor will like go and the Section 8 inspection. Oh, you need to put an outlet cover on that outlet right there. It's not worth his time to do that, right?
But it still come out.
He comes out to do it. He spends the gas, the time. He buys the 30-cent outlet cover, goes and puts it there gets the screws. Does all the BS. Spends 2 hours.
2 hours doing all
right?
that stuff. Yeah.
And then what he has to do at the very least is, sit down, write that down, keep track of that 30, the cost of goods.
The cost of goods, yeah.
And then bill it to me. That's a whole headache. If I just give him, $400 a month, he might actually be even more inclined to just to eat that small cost because it's not worth his time.
Exactly.
True, totally.
Yeah. I mean, if he's getting like a bigger amount as compared to like 30 cents.
Yeah,
he's like, what, I'll just
you
take
can
care
claim
of it,
if you wanted to put it on you can claim it on your taxes, right? Like
totally, yeah.
It's just like it's kind of just learning to gloss over some of the smaller details because it's really not worth the time for anybody, right? Like
definitely,
So yeah, that's actually something that I'm moving towards.
This is a contractor you have.
Yes.
Right. And for how many years you have this contractor?
Well, I mean, I've been in the business for a year. I've known this guy for 6. I've known
6 years.
I've known him and his entire family for 6 years.
So this was like probably when you were back in college.
Yeah, we met at like a house party.
Hold
on. How old he is though?
He's our age.
He's our age.
Okay.
Yeah. So his is a family business.
I thought usually contractors and GCs are
35,
like,
40, older.
Big beard.
I think my guy was born with a hammer in his hand.
Oh, really?
Shit.
Like he knows every single part and process to building a house, forward, backward. They do industrial development and stuff like that too. They
cool.
know what they're doing. They have
Is it like his family's in this business?
Yeah, his dad came here from I believe Mexico.
Okay.
And gave his family and his sons a good life, and now they have their own kids.
I mean, first generation is always like
the most
they
hardworking.
learn the traits from their father
Parents,
and grandparents, and they'd go double down on their
ability.
Yeah. My best friends. I mean, this guy's from college. All of my best friends, the people I get along with the most, are all immigrants. Like
look at us now.
Yeah. I mean, look at this is so true to the story though. It's in college, all my friends were Indian, Thai, Chinese, Korean immigrants who wanted absolutely to stay here.
Right? Yeah, that's the reason. I mean,
and they will do
anything
and it takes
anywhere.
To stay
here,
yeah,
they'll go above and beyond.
I respect it, and I wish native born people in the U.S. took more from that cloth because I think we take for granted.
For granted, yeah.
Like
I've
we
seen
have
that,
so much.
People who are born here, they take for granted because they know it's like normal for them, But people coming out from outside, they think, oh, it's a gold bar. We have to chew or like.
Mm-hmm. It's a whole different world. First of all, I mean, whole different country. You don't know anybody, and then the reason you come here is like mostly financial. Like that's the reason people come here.
Yeah.
And just to improve that, it takes a lot.
to have a better future. Yeah.
Have a better future. Yeah, exactly.
Back to the story though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, actually, I can kind of relate that to. I feel like I can relate that to real estate a little bit. Might be slightly tangential, but I think an interesting fact nonetheless. In perspective giving. So like, U.S. the land of opportunity. I don't know if I already alluded to this. Real estate, right? We in the U.S. we're so blessed as like the premier economy in the world. We are the only country that has like a thoroughly developed retirement plan.
Yeah.
Like around the rest of the world, there's a retirement crisis.
Right.
Like their police officers and firefighters in like London and the UK don't have pensions, right? Like it's like they're gonna
have to work something. Yeah.
They're gonna retire and like they don't
have nothing for them.
They don't know what they're gonna do.
That's so sad.
Yeah, it's so in the U.S. it's like, and I've spoken to people who. 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, let me mute that. I thought it was on mute.
No, you're totally fine.
Like, traveling, you talk to like a police officer in, London, and he's like, oh, I don't do real estate. You talk to a police officer here, oh yeah, I got a side hustle. I got 3-4 properties, right?
Right.
Same time they're trying to build their portfolio.
We're so privileged and blessed to have just such a robust economy that allows that, nurtures an individual to own assets like that, right? And to build that wealth. And I mean, there's so much that goes into that I'd love to talk about, but I feel like that's a tangent, so I'll save that. I'll save that.
So any bad experiences in real estate, like maybe in construction or wholesaling or like putting it on market, and then everything. It's like everything started falling.
Seems like he's got a couple of good stories.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like as a real estate investor, we all kind of like in our own way accumulate our battle scars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It just comes with the business. If you can't take a punch, like. Don't
get into the ring.
Don't do it. Like or at the very least, take your first punch and then like chill out for 2 months and process that and then get back. That's what I had to do.
Oh really?
Yeah, my very first nightmare was actually with a tenant. And you guys might have heard this story.
What happened?
So, after I did the lease option, my second property was a house I should have sold in Dalton.
Yeah.
And
Dalton.
Both these properties are in Dalton, by the way. And,
Dalton's always been great to invest in.
I mean, if you want that gross cash flow, that's $700 a month, bro. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
500 worth of
gross. Let's go, bro. Yeah, it's gross before time and extra expenses.
So the net ends up being 197.
Yeah, net. Yeah, it's like 200. Yeah,
$200 a month.
It was like might as well just own something in Schaumburg.
Schaumburg, right?
Yeah. But so there's a lot of things that went into this, and a lot of it was just my naivety as at the time a 24-year-old, or basically freshly 25, in college my whole life. So I really didn't have any street smarts at all. Yeah. So I just kind of set myself up with a tenant who had a high probability of being troublesome, and they. I probably made at least 3 police reports.
No way.
She stole my appliances when she moved out.
What?
I would not go to that property alone. I would have my general contractors or the police meet me there.
Oh, the cops would do that for you?
Well, the first time they did. Yeah. I've had it happen in other places. Yeah, I think the police will do that. Yeah, if you tell them like there's
like a troublesome tenants.
Yeah, and this is why I made as many police reports as possible, because now I have a paper trail, so they know exactly what I'm talking about.
True.
That was actually what saved me, is just documenting everything.
Right.
So yeah, that I basically was just stressed out and just shocked for like 2 months.
2 months.
I was listening to the song Cupid by 50/50 to basically cope with the stress.
No, it got that bad.
You know what I'm talking about? That bad. Hey, it's not that bad of a song, bro. But like that song is like sunshine and rainbows, lollipops and cupcakes, right? And like my world is like literally like doom and gloom, mushroom clouds and skulls, right? Like so, I needed the contrary.
So did that put you back a little bit and then make you like think about it again? Should I keep doing this or like?
Well, at first it did, and then I bought more.
Oh, then again in Dawson?
Yeah.
Oh, so end up being in Dawson.
Yeah. Well, it's just because there were so many deals, and like at that point, I was attuned to like, oh, that house I know I can cash out refi 50.
Right.
Like one of the houses I literally cashed out refi like 65.
65 grand.
Yeah, and it still cash flows like $700 a month.
And
the tenant is actually really good too, and it's in a really good pocket of Dalton too. Yeah, I'll
so
actually
you had zero money in the deal, and then $65,000 cash out
to my bank,
and then a great tenant.
Yeah,
great tenant, and then on this one it's netting like suppose $700.
Yeah,
no time, no headache, nothing like
well,
that.
there's a little. So how I know she's a good tenant because when the slightest thing like breaks or falls apart at the
She
property,
doesn't call you.
No, she does.
She does.
But I mean, so like it's a little bit of a headache, but like, I mean, it just speaks responsibility to me.
Yeah.
So part of the reason why, I mean, we of course, consider all, backgrounds and life situations and stuff like that. And we what I did like about her application was that she worked at a bank. She worked at Chase Bank downtown. She worked at like overnight, like paperwork processing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
To work in a bank and to be around the money and the numbers, I mean,
It takes a responsible person.
it's like, yeah, like people who work at banks, hospitals, or for the government, those are like the best jobs.
Best jobs,
right?
that's
It
true.
is because what it implies about the person's
And
character.
plus, like, I think they have some, like, a deep security check or something where they do a great background check,
Yes,
to see how people,
Yes.
like, how the person is actually.
yes.
So
it's
if
some
they're
betting.
doing a job there,
Yeah.
They definitely
like,
qualify
investing.
like better than other people.
Yeah, I mean, everyone, we all come from our own unique life situations, and just, I mean, it's a competitive marketplace. Whoever's got, I mean, nobody wants trouble, right? Like, and
Right.
we're just, so we're just trying to minimize the trouble for everybody, right?
Right,
And,
right.
and that's yeah, that's just kind of how we look at it, right? Yeah. So I own a couple there. I actually just listed one for sale as a flip.
Oh, nice.
Completely underlisted the market, like
Yeah.
like it's kind of I got it so low at a price.
you-
Was
Usually-
it Dalton too?
Yeah.
So usually
Oh.
investors buy and then start pushing the market upwards.
Upwards. He's like, let me just price it lower.
You are like pricing it low and breaking the market.
Hey,
Why is
yeah,
that?
yeah, I'm fucking the comps. Excuse my language. Should I say that?
Why is that? Why is that?
What did you say?
why are you pricing it lower?
Well, because I got it so low that I can like, cause like it's pigs get fat, hogs get slaughtered, right?
True.
I believe in my investment career of being interested in this stuff for since I was like 15. What I've learned is that it's not about, oh, I'm going to make all this money, or, oh, I think I can make all this money. It's like, what do I think I can make, and what am I willing to accept?
Yeah.
Right?
I think it's a satisfaction point which you have to come up on. Like, okay, I'm satisfied now.
Yeah.
Anything over,
I could take more, but like at that point, like I might be overextending myself on one position where now I can take that 40 plus all of my other proceeds. It's really like a total of 60 on the check.
Yeah.
Right?
You can reinvest.
I
in
can go
somewhere.
put that into 3 other deals for flips in better areas. Right? And so now my risk is spread across 3, not just 1. Right? And
then you can make 3 times
and
the
I
money.
can make more money, right? So it's like, well, okay, sure, I can. I mean, I like to think on the margin, right? Sure, I can make an extra 10, 15, 20%, or I can make 3x by doing 3 more
3x,
deals,
right.
right?
It's good.
And,
It's like-
and I got my cash
it's
now.
time frame too at the same time. Like
Yeah.
how fast are you doing those?
Yeah.
Listing them high. I mean, they're only sitting on the market for longer.
Don't get me wrong. So the houses that were like the bred to win horse, should you say? Like I have this one in Lansing. We're completely touching everything in the house,
With
right?
a gut rehab.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I mean, we might have saved some of the baseboard trim, and that's it.
That's
Because it looked good, right? You could paint it, and it didn't have globs of paint and stuff on it.
right.
But like we decided to redo the basement. Like
Finish it.
yeah, we put an extra like 15 into the house. But it's really not going to add much more to the sale value. But I already had it at a good price anyway, so I still think I can walk away making about 40. And it's gonna be like the nicest house on the market,
On the market, yeah.
right? So like, yeah, it's really gonna be the nicest house on the market. The biggest is most furnished, finished, and you know, attention to detail. So I'm like, I go into that position with confidence.
Confidence, right?
Right? So it's like, I can understand. If I lower the price, like the elasticity of it, for every dollar decrease, the liquidity goes up significantly because it's a good product, right? Anybody's gonna want to make that their home. It's on a good block, nice little fence on the yard. It's brick house, brand new roof, 4 bedrooms, completely finished, 2 bathrooms, completely finished basement.
I mean, that's the ideal house people want. Like somebody who's like wife, husband, 3 kids.
Yeah.
That's the perfect. It fits their needs.
Yeah,
Like
flex space in the
Yeah.
basement. Yeah, I mean, and there's no water that goes into the basement, so we
Right.
can refinish
put carpet and all if you want.
Yeah, we went with the plank just because.
Just because, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
So
yeah.
which one do you like most? Like, I mean, not most, but better. Like rentals or flips?
See, as an investor, I think it really you have to take your notes from the market.
Yeah.
Right. I think right now, just given some of the conventional wisdom that's been, kind of floating around in conversation with seasoned investors in our market, and then just also my own reading of things, I think this might be a season to flip right now.
Okay. 2024 is season to flip.
Yeah, at least for right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 2 properties I have under contract for
Like,
rental.
is it because of the interest rates or like is there like a
Interest
specific?
rates are still high though.
Yeah, it's a myriad of factors. So like the first and foremost is that the market's basically just flat.
Yeah.
Right. And flipping is really good in a flat or uptrending market, right? So and then like the whole underlying narrative with the Fed, I don't know if you caught at the Fed meeting today and stuff like that. 3 cuts are still on the table this year and stuff like that, despite the inflation being sticky the last 2-3 reports. The underlying narrative in the financial markets, and then also how that's translating into like our own market, it makes sense to me that like I can bet on some flips to position myself for a time when rates are lower.
And then you can buy the better neighborhoods.
Yeah, well, I buy the better neighborhoods, and there's like I qualifies for a DSCR.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Of course.
but also flipping with like 1031 exchange and stuff like that. I mean, it really like if I make 40 and then I 1031 that into $300,000 house or whatever, it's like, I mean, that still makes sense too.
Of course. I mean, saving taxes so much. Like
Yeah.
if you do that like 3 or 4 times a year, you're saving like $50,000 at least.
I mean, you guys live with your parents, right?
Yeah.
Like I live with my grandfather, and like $100,000, I can not have to work for like 5 years.
5 years. I mean, you live like a king at that
Right.
point. No, like there's no expense.
Yeah.
How much are you gonna eat?
How much my biggest expense is food.
Yeah, like that's
But,
you're spending
I've
20 grand a year on
actually-
food.
I don't know about you guys, but I went from cooking my food to eating only like Chipotle to now I don't even leave the house. I have it DoorDashed because it is.
Oh,
I don't want to take my time. I don't want.
He's like-
So
It's my time.
So
It's my
He's like, I
time.
can afford DoorDash fees now.
Yeah, it's
you
like
see,
it's
you,
literally
you
$40
see
for a
what
bowl.
real estate does to you. Like it
Yeah.
makes your life and the living style better. Actually,
I think it also fits the definition of an addiction, because an addiction is something where you get a narrow focus of interest.
Focus of interest.
I don't want to.
All you want to do is like real estate.
I don't want to go outside to even stop to smell the flowers when I go to get my Chipotle. I want to stay in the house in front of my computer looking at deals and talking to brokers. You know what I mean? So it's
have you done any like wholesales or no?
yeah, I've done maybe 4 or 5. It's
Okay.
okay.
I mean, you got it from other wholesales and then
No,
then wholesale, or
I
you-
originated them.
Oh,
So were
you
they, like,
did cold
on-
call or mailers or
No.
something?
On market?
MLS.
Oh, MLS.
Just like the New Western, like what New Western does, just like
Okay.
just throwing out tickets.
Just
and
like
stuff
low
like-
ball people and then
Yeah, just it's a lot of work. It's really a lot of work. It's like I have the resources to flip, so I'm just gonna flip. If there's enough margin, like if you're making like at least 10 to 15 on a wholesale, then I'll do
it makes
it.
sense.
Yeah.
Then I'll do it. But like 4 or 5, not worth the stress at all.
Because you have stress. Like, are they going to be able to close it?
We were talking about this earlier with the garage that burned down.
Yeah.
Like because that was actually originally a wholesale. I was gonna make about $7,000 on a
On a
wholesale fee.
wholesale?
Yeah, I was also like had connection to the buyer's commission as well.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
yeah,
now you're flipping that same property.
yeah. Well, because like the buyer actually defaulted, but I was like, I don't want this. This is actually like
It's a good property.
I was kind of scared of flipping.
Yeah.
And then I talked to like Andrew, I talked to Harry, I called my network.
Yeah. Was that your first flip?
Yeah. I kind of just jumped into it. Yeah.
And the garage burned down.
Yeah. Well,
So you gotta tell us-
the kids were partying in there. They broke down the door and then they burned down the garage.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's go a little bit back. Let's go a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you saw this property on MLS, right?
Mhm.
And then what was your next step? Did you go and check it at the
Yes,
property, or
probably-
just put
I
in
was
an
probably the
offer?
first person in that property.
First and last?
Before the squatter.
Well, like the first person investor to view that property.
Oh, okay.
I'm
And
pretty
then you
typically
right
do that.
off came out and then just put in an
I
offer?
made an offer. Yeah.
Okay.
And offered
So how much it was listed for?
like 109, 999, 110.
110.
pretty much.
And how much you offered?
Asking price.
Oh, full price.
Yeah.
Nice. So they said yes to you, or they took like some time?
No,
and then
I think there might have been one other offer, and they were like $500 below mine.
Oh, okay.
For
So
some,
they
so yeah.
picked
for
yours.
some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I won the bid, and I was like, great.
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'm really just trying to wholesale this. I don't flip. My typical buyer didn't want it. They actually just bought something from me, like on 104th, 54th Street, but like a couple blocks over.
But still South Holland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in the less nice, like by Riverside Drive, not the worst pocket, right next to Harvey, the worst pocket of South Holland, in terms of ARVs. So I just kind of shopped around in my network and found somebody he took one look at it. And he's like, yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, sweet. But he was bringing on a financing partner, who was new and was like bringing the money through like a lender or something, like the private lender.
Okay.
And they didn't deposit the earnest money. Like they wouldn't, like the guy like was just coming up with excuses. I mean,
They just weren't taking any action towards
Were
it.
they in the group VR or
yeah,
outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like reverberations after everything happened.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But I
Okay.
think it's all settled now.
You're gonna put them on the spot? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I won't say their names, but I did. Yeah, so because like I made money like 6 different ways in this house.
Right.
The earnest money. Well, so they gave me earnest money, but the seller called for more earnest money, which they wouldn't deposit, and they were gonna kill the deal. So I'm like, but this is a good deal. Like I'd hate to see this thing just go.
Let's go. Yeah.
Right. So
Doesn't make any
then
sense.
I literally put together the financing and everything like in like 4 hours, and then last second went to the bank, got the earnest money, and deposited it,
Yeah.
and then closed it like
In
2
just
days
4 days.
later. 2
Oh,
days
wow.
later. Yeah, it was like literally like a last.
And that was
second.
like a private money thing, or
Yeah. It was this lady I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That you probably know too.
So you bought it for 110, right?
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was
wrong.
the stated price. Yeah.
That was a like agreement price. You
Yes,
had it
that
on
was a
contract.
stated
there's more
price.
stories to it.
Yeah, so this thing is deep.
And you deposited the earnest money and you start the process. Like, so
And
what
then-
happened? What happened on the closing day, like in the morning?
Yeah. So, it's pretty. At least for me, it's a common practice to do a final walkthrough before close.
Final walkthrough actually is very important. Like just to go take a look at your property.
Yeah,
like,
just like we found a random cat in our house like this Monday. I don't know if you saw our story.
No, there's a cat.
There was a wild cat, and like she was running all around the place, scared the shit out of us. We had to leave all the doors open. And
Yeah, you got to get her out. You don't want her to, the starts ammonia.
Oh.
Yeah, ammonia.
No, but tell us about your story.
Yeah. So, as we do, I did that, and I just mind my business, having a good old morning, and then I pull up and, the front door is completely wide open and the doorknob is missing. What's going on here? So I went inside the house.
Oh, you did go inside the house?
Yeah.
You were not scared?
That wasn't smart.
That wasn't smart
I
for sure.
wasn't
That's
smart. I wasn't.
but-
I was trying not to be scared.
like, I'm strong.
Did you make noise like when you went into the house?
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
what the?
Did you actually?
That's basically what I said. I was like, what the hell happened here? Like, yeah. Probably it's such pretty character of me. So I was like, I mean,
Did somebody came out or no?
the property man, I told the seller's broker, and then the attorney told the property manager he came out and secured it or something.
No, like
no, but was
when
there
you were
somebody
at the
inside the
house
house?
and you like start knocking the doors and all that stuff. Somebody came out from the house.
No,
or
it was vacant.
No,
No, it was vacant. But it was more or less the principle of like, well,
What just
the
happened?
door was not like this yesterday.
Yesterday, right? Like what happened overnight?
Yeah, last time I was here, so we had previously found like blow up mattress that was there one day and then gone the next. And there's a high school down the street, and so actually the story I got from the guy who lives the house over, he's our age too. His name's Josh as well.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So like the owner of that house, my house, died, and while it was like in like what do you call it? They're figuring out the situation.
Sure.
Probate,
or
probate.
something in a courthouse.
Estate
There's a word for it. It's receivership.
or receivership? Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Some form of
yeah.
receivership or something like that. She basically told all of her high school friends you can party at the house. And
Oh,
so-
she let them party.
yeah, so there's this like these little plastic tequila bottles and
Yeah.
like like Swishers for rolling blunts and.
So it was like a
stuff like
party
that.
house, like a trash house.
Yeah, and there's in the flower bed to this day. There's still tequila bottles that should be
I'm
cleaned
not
out
cleaning that up.
tomorrow. But
It's a character to the house. Like,
oh yeah, totally. Actually,
Right.
we put it in the MLS remarks.
Right.
You know.
Swisher packs will not be cleaned up.
Yeah, Swisher packs are included. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yeah, I basically because of that asked for a like a last second $13,000 price reduction or credit to basically account for 6 months of 6 months to
Holding cost?
evict.
Or like eviction in
Yeah,
case
6 months
that,
of holding costs to compensate for eviction.
in case that
period.
would happen. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that was great. And I was like, cool, I'm going into this deal. So I had the $2,000 from the defaulted wholesale, the $3,000 from the commission, and the $13,000
From the credits.
Yeah, so it was 110. I mean, so that's what, like 98,
Like probably like 80, like
96, 95.
Also, the
Yeah,
purchase price technically was like
my
$95,000.
basis became 95, right? And then I had, I was kind of running the ropes with the new contractor, and the nightmares begin and end with the contractors in this business, right? I think we all know that.
I mean,
this
business is
that
like,
was, I think, that's probably the worst aspect of real estate investing. Getting the contractors on,
Anything with people.
anything with people, pretty much, yeah.
But
You
yeah.
can get the money, you can get the property closed, you can do anything and all, but get it ready.
no,
in
but
a
if you
timely
find
manner.
right people, I mean, good ones, they are like,
You only need
you are set for life, not them. You are set for
You only
life.
need
But
to
I mean,
find.
you-
You only
you-
need to find them once. Too,
One,
right?
right.
Only find in the months, and if you're able to. I mean, that's one of the hardest
But
things
to
to do.
find that one person, you have to jump like 3 or 4 different hoops, like different people, and
Yeah.
You have to get punched like 3-4
Run the
times
risk.
before you
It
find.
it really
the
puts a
one.
damper on your ability to scale because you
Right.
can't take on too many projects because this person is going to walk out on the job.
exactly.
Not
you know?
reliable.
Or they're not gonna prioritize it, and then it's like my contractors before my current guy were 3 months expectation. This stuff's done in a month.
Or in a
Right.
month.
Like just about any project.
30 days in and out.
Yes.
That's actually really good.
Before final touch ups and stuff
Right.
like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, that's like
Give
The
them
that's
the
big.
scope.
major stuff is done under.
Give them
30
the
days.
scope of work and like they turn around in a month. Like
And is that like cosmetic or like including plumbing and electrical?
plumbing, electrical, roof, driveways, exterior work in general.
Those
Yeah.
very good
Weather
contracts.
permitting, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So yeah, so we actually got we had to do some exterior work on this house, and the weather was holding us up, and so it kind of just sat as is until the weather cleared up for the contractor to go out there and finish. And in the meantime, the old cabinets and the sawdust from when they sanded the hardwood floors and maybe some of the old trim and the old doors and
all wood stuff.
oh, just incredibly flammable materials. We're just, kind of just sitting in the
Sit in the
garage.
yeah.
And the, local high school troublesome kids kind of made a habit of trespassing on the property. And I guess they saw an opportunity to
burn it
start a
down.
fire.
Start a
Yeah.
fire. Put
And
the houses.
so, so my garage, I was delightfully surprised
Delightfully
when
surprised.
the Simply Safe called me and told me that my alarm was going off, and I was like, call the police.
Call the police.
And they called me back and saying, the fire department's been called. Your garage is on fire. The report says a big flame is coming from the garage. And
Oh shit!
I'm like, oh no, like
that's some scary stuff now. Like, I'm
Yeah, I was
sitting
like-
in the house chilling.
I was like having a good day, and I'm
No,
like,
no,
well,
but
there goes
I
my
think
afternoon.
You were happy at that time if it burned down.
Not initially.
well,
yeah.
no, I was happy once I heard the insurance was gonna pay out.
Yeah.
Until then, I was like, shoot,
Shit,
like,
now
is
what?
my insurance good? Like, that was the big,
Yeah.
that
But
was-
did you have the insurance for like the garage as well, or like?
Yeah, so there's a lot of lessons you could probably take from this, and I mean, as anybody in general who's learning that. So yes and no.
How was like?
So like on a typical like policy of like what we're looking at hazard policies, without knowing the proper nomenclature for that, you have to request coverage on additional structures,
Are those like meaning detached garages or in like
decks, detached garages,
even the decks?
patios.
That's crazy.
I don't know about the patios, but like if
So
you
they're
had,
not
if you had like
usually
a
covered
parlor
in
or
the
something like that,
policy.
yeah, you have to ask. You have to request coverage on that because they don't really know what the property looks like when they underwrite it anyway, right?
I mean, it's virtual, yeah.
They're supposed to go out there and take pictures, from what I'm told, but like I don't know a single agent.
But most of them do like desk stuff now.
Yeah,
like
like I don't know anybody who goes out to the property and take pictures.
Yeah,
like they ask us to take pictures and send it to them, but nothing major.
They're actually supposed to go take the pictures and not be asking you.
Yeah.
I learned that one. After I learned that one, I'm like, no.
Now I'm sending the best house in the
It's like,
neighborhood.
no, it's free labor, no. So yes, the garage caught on fire, and I actually, as we're investors and we're constantly looking. It's in our nature to look for the best deal. And from the insurance company that I started with when I first started to today, I have come across better deals, right?
True.
Like a basically lower premiums for the same coverage. So I had, on this house, I had actually had 2 coverages. I had Foremost, and I had one from this company called OSC. And Foremost did not cover the garage. They didn't have coverage in the garage. Yeah. So I was like, oh, shit.
So what was your next step? Like,
So I'm like, shit, so we're not rebuilding the garage.
So the other company kicked in?
What did you say?
So the other company kicked in?
Yeah, so I called them, and so I got lucky because like on the so this apparently supposed to be a common thing with the insurance policy, but Foremost didn't have it, so I don't know what the deal is. That they'll have like part A, part B, like these different terms of coverage and stuff.
Right.
And so I believe it's A, where it's 10% of the total replacement cost on the additional structures. So like in this case, I had a loan of $150 on this thing, so lender required a replacement of $150 at minimum, so 10% is $15, right?
So they were able to pay you that $15,000 out.
Yeah, well, I have it was a rocky road, and there was some errors on the broker's end yes, I have now being cut the check, but it was after they told me they were going to give me 12 when I knew they had to give me 15.
But how did the errors come in like that? Like, was there like something in the paperwork that was mistyped, or?
So like for a insurance brokerage, they typically get something like called E&O. Yeah, errors and omissions, right? Uh-huh. And basically covers their hide if they forget to maybe they didn't submit the change of the policy, and then like that day, and then the next day it burned down, right? Well, they were going to do it, right? Or like maybe I requested it, and then like they didn't get to it, but I have in writing that I requested it.
They did it, yeah.
So then I
should they have to do it.
Yeah, because they're an agent. They're supposed to act on my behalf. If they don't do it, it's their fault, right? If I already requested it, what are you getting paid for?
So that insurance typically like covers that part of it, like the error part of it.
Yeah, so like I don't know exactly how it translates into like money changing hands between the brokerage and the actual insurance provider, but I know it's there to create a system where the error was corrected, and I'm given the amount that I was supposed to give, which is the 15. So the big takeaway is to inspect your insurance policies and make sure everything is covered. Print. Yeah.
You just like keep signing it, and that's it,
Yeah, that's like we could probably have a whole conversation on just the ins and outs.
Insurance?
Yeah, on the ins and outs. Like you can talk to there's a ton of insurance brokers who have like workshops and stuff like that. But I really think hearing it from an investor and somebody who's got that risk loaded on their mind is an important angle.
Right.
You know what I
mean? If especially have gone through it, you'll have more knowledge than anybody else.
So are you like flipping that property or like closing
it's a flip.
Well,
the South Holland ordinance does not allow me to rent it.
Oh yeah, they have
that block is like the
10%. I think they have a 10% rule.
And that block is like a gold mine for rents. Like I don't think any landlord that owns a property on that why would they ever sell it? Because like those are the lowest property values, and they get that Section 8 rent. Like those houses make at least like $1,200 to $1,500 a month.
That's insane.
If you stabilized it today, if you have you've owned it for years, and then you just have lease renewals with Section 8 up to today, those things are just cash cows.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the areas we're investing in, they're like good neighborhoods. Mm-hmm. And they cash for like $400 or $500 at the most,
Most, right.
And then on top of that, you have like maintenance. Oh, my plumbing's backed up. Yeah. Like now what,
In the long run, so like what I do in my you guys think this is pretty cool. I can show you out on my computer. So like you have like the stated cash flow, right? But then that's like, after all of the certainties are accounted for, but then there's the uncertainties of vacancy and maintenance. So I underwrite, just to be super conservative, I'm doing Section 8, so there's single year leases.
Right.
I underwrite a vacancy every year, and 1 month vacancy. And I also underwrite like a 1 to 3% of the property value in terms of maintenance every year.
1 to 3%.
So in the long run, and then this creates like a standard deviation. There's volatility in terms of your cash flow. And then I just do that in the long run. So if I own this thing for 100 months, what can I actually expect to be the net? So if you're making $500 a month, you're probably only really making like $200 in the long run.
That low?
Yeah, I mean, to be all super conservative, it's assuming a vacancy every single year of 1 month, and it's 1 to 3% of the property value in
repairs.
So you're technically only making like 40% of what you think you're making.
Yeah, it's in the long run, right? But we're in the game to. So yeah, that really shifted my rental philosophy. To be honest with you.
But I mean, if you consider 100 months, your mortgage goes down and your cash flow goes up. So if you like.
Well, your cash flow's gonna be the same. Your principal building is gonna go up though.
Right. I mean, but
until you refi,
yeah.
So
right.
Have you done any cold calls or anything like that?
I did a little bit of that.
A little bit.
I'm just like, there's so much. I mean, like that works as for some people. For me, it's like I have all the resources just to flip off the MLS. That makes more money and a fraction of the headache. I'm just gonna do that.
I just might as well just
because like it allows me to scale, so I can get to the point where I can just hire somebody to do that.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm not
stress free,
I'm not in, well, I wouldn't say stress free, but I'm not in any hurry. Like, we're young guys, right? Like, I mean, at this point in my life, I really prioritize new experience. Like, you guys asked me to do this. I'm like, I made it a priority to be here. I'm like, this is, like, we appreciate that. This is new, right? And I really value, my flexibility and my time to form relationships and experience new things. If I have a bunch of employees and I'm saddled with that, I'm already saddled with a ton of leverage on freaking real estate, right? like I want to minimize the amount of people involved, at least for the time being.
True.
Right? Let's go to Singapore a couple more times.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you got to tell the Singapore story. Okay, how did that happen?
Yeah,
this is like a really fun story, actually.
Yeah. So this is a real estate show, right? So this is real estate related, whether it is directly or not, right? Yeah. So.
Well, this is like about 3 months ago.
Early January.
So about 3-4 months ago. About 3 months ago.
Yeah,
actually.
3 months ago. Jeez, man, time flies.
Time
flies when you're making deals.
The last time I saw you was like 3 months ago, I think. No, 2 months ago.
It's a 3 day, maybe a month and a half. There was in February, right?
Right. Yeah.
Early February.
So about 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just say 2 months.
Right.
Yeah, let's just say 2 months. So my girlfriend, I think we talked about her earlier. Right?
I know that we gotta come back to it though.
Yeah. Okay. So
let's stick to the girlfriend so far.
Yeah. So my contemporary girlfriend, she was going to Singapore. Her family goes out there once a year for vacation and whatnot. They own property or something. She's like, I want you to come with me.
And this is like 1 month into the relationship.
Yes, I've been with her for a month, and she asked me literally the night before she leaves.
Are you okay talking about her?
Huh?
Are you okay talking about her?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure, man.
It's lived experience, man.
Yeah.
No, he's an investor. He comes out of stuff really quick.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to.
The first one you
no
cry
hard
about.
Feelings, though.
The first one you cry about, and then the fifth one you just like, meh.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm used to it.
I'll get it on the. I'll catch it. I'll regain it on the next one. It's pretty. It averages out.
I'll treat you better.
It averages out in time, right? Well, now I'm a better man, right? I know how to. I think I could probably treat a girl even better.
Yeah.
More so now than I did before.
2 months ago.
Right. Yeah. It's important. It's experience.
Real estate, you are so much confident on real estate that you can fly to Singapore in a day, within a 12-hour notice.
Not even, I think. You said you were just chilling on the couch and then...
It was nighttime. It was 10 o'clock at night.
What time do you fly?
So it's about a 24-hour window.
Oh, 24 hours.
Okay. It's about a 24-hour window.
But still, it's for some people, they plan it for months before going to...
And it's we're going to... I have some friends who were from Singapore who weren't there. So I did have hey, what should I do? Where should I go?
Yeah.
I kind of figured it out for myself, though. We stayed in Sentosa, which is the southernmost point of continental Asia. You go just further south and you're in Australia, the continent of Australia.
Australia.
Yeah. It was beautiful country, the cuisine, the food, high class. Everyone there speaks like 4 languages, very well educated people as a society.
Yeah.
It's very lean.
I think I heard they like speak Singlish, something like that.
Singlish, yeah.
Singlish?
Yes, they speak English, but I guess with their
In their own accent.
yeah. Well, so like what was the word? I never heard this word until a light.
A light?
A light. ALEIGHT.
A light.
Yeah.
A light. That means one light. A light.
No. So like
There's no space.
so like when I heard it was like please take care before you alight.
A light.
So like you're on a bus or you're on like a tram or something like that and you're getting off. A light means to
You're
get
getting
out
off.
of a vehicle.
Oh, a light.
Yeah, I was like, a light? Like, what is this?
I've never.
Yeah,
I
so
would never think of like.
Did you Google it then?
yes, yeah, I was on the tram and
Yeah.
there's a sign that says a light, and then there's the intercom. The speaker
Now
says
lighting.
a light. Yeah, so I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So just look it up. A light. I'm like,
Wicked.
yeah, I'm like, okay, a light. Then I start using. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Now I'm gonna start using that word again.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, a light. Yeah, I assume nobody's gonna know what I'm saying. Maybe that's the point.
But
but
people will say Josh has gone back like mad. Like
Yeah,
he's saying a
he's
light,
making
a
up
light,
words.
like,
He's
mush.
making words up now.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
got his own
He
dictionary.
was already using so confusing words. Now he's adding one more. A light.
a light, a light.
Yeah.
Like is that a
He's
sentence?
like, is that
I think it's a
light?
sentence. I think that's a sentence.
Yeah.
Right.
But but that was all made possible from just real estate.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it takes a lot just to be like, oh, let me book a ticket for tomorrow morning. I'm gonna go to Singapore. Not everybody.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
wanna
want to go?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Let's
Yeah.
check the flights right now. No, I mean I can't leave the country for at least another 3 months.
Why is that?
I'm just caught up with my attention needs to be here.
Yeah.
I like to look at right now.
I mean,
yeah.
if your focus is not at one
Yeah.
spot, like
I mean,
it's
he's got
no
a bunch
good,
of
like,
projects going on too at the same time. So,
Yeah,
you know.
I'd like to be on. I like to be on the job site. Just check up on it
Right.
at least 2 times a week.
Yeah.
Just,
we can probably plan it for next year though.
sure. Yeah, I
We
mean,
plan it though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It'll be
so
a fun trip.
so I'm planning something in the next 3 months to go out to like Eastern Europe. I have Hungarian heritage, so I want to go to Hungary. I'll go to I'm in the region, go to Poland, go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Oh, those are nice places.
Yeah, my buddy. So I was in Singapore in that story, right? And then I went over to Thailand because I have buddies who were Thai who were from there. I know them from college. So I just hung out.
So
with
you
them.
went from Chicago to
Singapore,
Singapore
then
to Thailand.
Yeah,
right.
and then from Thailand back to the U.S.
You didn't get to go to Korea then.
No. So my buddy from college was in Korea, and it just didn't work out.
And this was all
Yeah.
unplanned.
It was-
No
I
planning.
bought
at
a
all.
one-way ticket.
Right.
Well, look at that now. Look at that. One-way ticket. Not knowing when you're going to come back.
Right.
Yeah.
Might not. I'm just
I
I'm
was
happy
thinking
here.
about it. I was thinking about it, but no, the real estate money is just too good. I don't want to get it. Like,
You don't wanna let it go.
that's where the true fulfillment in life is right now is the real estate. So, and that's what ultimately led to the demise of my my relationship with my girlfriend.
Right. You put that on.
Yeah, it's the real estate's too good.
On this point, like you're happy with the real estate, you had like international trips and everything. So what would be the 3 things you love about investing or real estate?
Yeah.
Because everybody is different and your opinion might be different. So
Yeah.
what are the things you love and
Yeah.
what are the things you can do? With
Right.
that freedom or
Well,
whatever.
I
it
feel like
is.
we illustrated some of the things that can be done.
Yeah.
So like the first one is just like, so if there's 3 things, and I would make it succinct here, right? So, freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
One of the
Yeah,
most important things, I
just,
think.
You just took your trip to Singapore without planning, so that's
Yeah,
a freedom.
That's freedom. Yes.
Most people don't have
That's
most people who are in 9 to 5 jobs.
They
They
just
have
can't.
to plan it like 6 months ahead and inform their bosses and ride the
becomes-
race.
Even to get to leave, it's a pain in the
It's
ass.
like what gets them through the next 6 months. It's like, I
Exactly.
can't wait to take this trip
Trip,
to
right?
get out of this place.
Get out of this place, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's a whole different thing. And the world's changing and it's
Yeah.
getting away from that type of like life that jobs create. But for right now, that is very much a thing.
Okay. What is number 2 then?
Number 2, yes. Number 2 is upward mobility.
Meaning,
Okay.
So real estate makes good money, so much so that I can be free, even more so that money makes money.
money makes money. Yeah, you
Right?
just
Yeah.
keep doubling it.
It's like, for as a guy who lives in his grandfather's basement, drives an '08 Camry with like a $200 a month payment.
Yeah.
And like other expenses, food.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you get all that money.
I mean,
like,
people will think you're just driving a like '08 Camry and all that stuff, but like if you start thinking deeply, like that's the best life. I mean, everybody wants to live your life, but they can't live because they have like fancy cars.
I like the
he looks the most low key person, but he's like, I got more money than all of you guys over here.
So this is like how I like to dress, like when I'm being myself, but on the daily, I wear these ugly Crocs with like these big ugly sweatpants and a big ugly hoodie, and I wear it with a hood.
Yeah.
And I just
I want to picture him in that. Yeah.
Like I just look like I got nothing.
No,
right?
I understood why you dress up like that because he goes to Dalton.
I mean, the suburbs he invests in, you know, like.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I would feel comfortable wearing this minus the coat in like South Holland. Yeah, so it's actually part of the reason why I want to move out of those areas because it's constraining my personality.
Right.
Yeah. So it's upward mobility and it's the ability, you know, I've met people who started flipping houses that are now billionaires.
Billionaires?
Like at 60. Yes. It is so possible.
They are billionaires, you said?
Yes.
But at 60, right?
Yeah.
But the pace you're going right now, I don't think so. Like you need
6
like,
years.
What,
I think
40
by 35
40
I
more
think
years.
I mean,
up there.
You'll be done by like next 10 years and you'll say like, you know, I'm a billionaire. Let's go buy a yacht or something.
Yeah, like,
I
I
mean,
own the plane. I own the jet.
It gets to the point of like, you know, where are you finding your fulfillment, right?
Right.
Like, so kind of go to the third point. So we had the freedom, upward mobility, and then the third one, I feel this one is quite not as clear because the other two are so good. It's just fun.
It's just fun.
That's fun.
I feel like I'm playing a video game.
Yeah.
A real life video game.
Yeah.
You get to touch the money. You get to touch the.
Like my money buys trips to Singapore, right? Like you
Right.
can buy a
That
house.
kind of-
Like I can live in a house.
It's a real life
You can live in a
monopoly.
house.
Yeah, I can own a house. Like and live in it.
But it's not as fun as living with your grandpa.
I mean, it gives me company, right? But
Exactly. I mean, you don't want to be bored yourself.
You are playing a real life monopoly right now.
Yes.
You pay taxes. You collect all your rents. You
Yeah,
go on
I do
trips,
not go to
you know.
jail though.
You don't go to
Yeah, I
jail.
do not go to jail though.
No, that's why I said you pay your taxes. Yeah.
Yes, I pay the taxes. I don't commit any crime.
Right.
Are you sure?
Last time I checked, but I don't check very often.
I wonder why.
All right.
So
far, it has been great conversation with Josh here.
But I want to ask him one question.
Sure.
sure.
About the
This is
girlfriend
great.
thing.
This is great. Okay.
How did you
this
meet your
guy's
girlfriend? I wanna-
I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
You don't have to answer. I'm just pulling your leg.
Hey,
you know? I'm just
so-
pulling your leg.
So as a very busy real estate professional, I like to concentrate all my time on this business, for everything we've just talked about and the freedom that it can give. So I just like to keep my options open,
Of course.
you know, and keep the muscle strong in terms of, you know, like game.
Right.
So I have Hinge on my phone, right? Okay, it's not Tinder.
You need some sort of fun.
It's not Tinder. Tinder is like for the one night stand stupid garbage, right? I'm not into that stuff. No, it's like it's designed for like conversations that are supposed to lead to relationships, right? And so that's what I have on my phone. And it's
because why not?
I mean, it definitely.
I'm sure you might have a prop stream also. You have Zillow. You have
Zillow, yeah. The prop stream I got
Redfin,
get rid of. I got the
yeah.
Redfin, yeah.
So it's okay if you have 3 or 4 apps for real estate and one for your personal stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, it's
I'm just I mean, regardless if it's real estate or dating, I'm in the marketplace. Right?
You're in the
Marketplace,
marketplace,
I'm in the marketplace, right?
It's some sort of asset.
but like the dating apps is like freaking MLS. It's just like so competitive. Like you need off market
So
deals. You need off market deals. Those are the best.
But again, those are hard to find. You can't even cold call.
You really need an in for the off market deals, right? So
You need connections. You need to be able to cold
no,
call.
everybody is getting confused what we are talking about.
yeah, I mean it's real estate.
If they have like seen the whole video, they would have understood what they just had a conversation about. Either if it's what is off market,
What is off-market
or
deals?
what is cold call. You know?
No, but let's keep that for another topic. You know, like the off market part. Or
No, I'm saying like you just guys did right. Like
Oh,
you
like,
have to
yeah,
do
yeah,
an
yeah.
off-market deal or something in a
Yeah,
like a
well, are we talking about
relationship
off-market
way.
relationships or real
Yeah,
estate?
exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's the same thing.
Same thing, yeah.
Right, finding deals,
just
you know.
finding
Yeah,
deals,
less
right.
Which makes sense.
Less competition.
Right.
Yes.
Which cash flow?
Yes. 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 I don't know how you translate cash flow to a relationship, but yes.
I mean, they understand.
Yes. Yes.
Either they're taking cash or they're giving cash. So.
Sure.
All
Sure.
right, guys, this happens when you get together with like bunch of 20 years old and, you
And
know,
like-minded people. And
Yeah,
Like-minded
that's the
having
most
a good
important.
time. Like I think this was supposed to end like 2 hours
2
ago.
hours
but-
ago.
Oh yeah, actually, I have a story for you.
Okay.
It will take a minute for for everybody.
Sure.
So we started recording at 5, and then we did a whole hour of podcast, and suddenly all our like when we saw cameras, like they were turned off. I don't know what happened or something.
Hopefully they're still recording right now.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
still
he got up
recording,
and
I
checked.
think.
That's why he was getting up. too.
Yeah, that's why I was getting up in between this recording and seeing like if all the cameras are working fine or not, and that's why we are like getting late
Yeah.
and all that stuff. But
we have the audio for like an hour, but the video's only like
No
15,
footage, though.
15 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And somehow it got
so,
turned
but
off.
anyways, this will keep happening, or like something will come up. It's a cost of doing business. So, thank you, Josh, for joining
Thank
us today
you.
with
Thank
us.
you,
So
Josh,
much for having me.
Of course, I mean, it's our
Absolute
pleasure.
I can't wait for the next one.
Right.
Absolutely,
I mean, but especially somebody like him with so much knowledge, so much experience.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for coming.
Thank you so much for watching our video, and then hopefully we'll see you in our next one. And keep supporting Brewing with Two Bros. Adios, amigos.